Hi, in this tutorial I will discuss about routes. In order to understand about routes, I will first go to a fresh Laravel installation folder. This is the fresh Laravel I have installed on my computer and it is into my XAMPP htdocs folder. So this is the Laravel installed folder. Okay. I am going into the folder and you see that a fresh Laravel installed files are here. I am going to include this Laravel fresh folder into my VS Code editor. So go to CMD here, then write code dot enter. You will see that the VS Code editor is opening here. I go to trust the authors. Okay, it comes. Now I will start my application in this location. So PHP artisan start. Then my development server is running. Okay. Now I go to my browser, hit that development server URL 127.0.0.1.8.0.0. Okay. So this Laravel application is running now. I will discuss about routes. Our web routes, that means we are going to develop a web application. When you will go to develop a web application, you have to go into web route. So I am going into my web.php file under routes folder. This is the web route. Route simply means URL. That means if in any Laravel application, if you do not define the route, you cannot run your application. If you see here, I am going to remove this. If you see this, the route get / function view welcome. Here you will see that a route is defined. This is main route. Okay, / means route. So if you come here, refresh, and you see that this is loading a view, welcome view. Okay, the welcome view is given here. That means it is returning the value of the welcome view. That means it is showing the welcome view. Suppose I want to uncomment this line. Okay, control / uncomment. If I uncomment these lines, now if you come here and goes to run the application, you see that 404 not found. That means there is no route defined and you cannot run your application. So keep in your mind that if you want to see any page in Laravel, you must have to define that using a route. So I am going to uncomment and refresh the page. It comes again. This is the main route and this is view welcome. I am now going to show you what is loading in this page. This is a view page. Though I will describe about the blade file structure later more deeply, but I am going to give you just an overview. In order to get your view files, you have to go into the resource folder. Into the resources folder, you will see that views folder. Go into there, you see that there is a view and this is welcome.blade.php. You must have to keep on your mind that the file extension will be .blade.php. So the view name is actually welcome and .blade.php is the extension. You see that when I hit the main URL, then it is returning the value of the welcome view. So this is the view and this is the welcome. I click here, you see that this is a nice looking page and HTML codes here, and the HTML codes for this page. Okay, now I am going to remove everything. I write my own code here, home page. For example, here I give home page description. Now if I go here, refresh it, you see that this is home page and this is home page description, because I wrote these things in my welcome route. If you want, you can change the name of welcome. You can give it another name. Suppose I am going to rename here and give the name home. Enter. This is now home.blade.php. So you must have to specify home here. Otherwise, if you want to run this, you will see that there is an error, and it is telling that the view welcome not found. That means I have to give here the name home. Now refresh and you see the home page come again. So this is the functionality how I call a view using route. Instead of calling a view, you can directly return any value here. Suppose I want to return a value here. My name is Murshidul Arifin. I just give here my name. I am not returning any view. I am directly returning a string. Okay. Now refresh here. Refresh. You see that my name is Murshidul Arifin. That means directly the value is showing. So you can use the route this way. But I am now going to view the home so that I can describe everything easily. Okay, it backs. Now what I can do, I am suppose going to create a menu, ULLI, suppose here home and about. There are two pages. I will describe later what I want to do. Now let's see to have another route. For example, this is my home page of my application, and I want that my application has an about page, and I want to navigate the about page this way, /about. Enter. You now see that there is no page found. That means I did not define any route for the about. As this is another URL, so you must have to define the route here. Okay. So here I will write about. That means I am going to remove this. Okay. That means this is the about route, and you can return anything here. For example, I am going to test about page. Okay. Now if I refresh here, you see that about page. That means about route is defined. Instead of showing about page, you can also return view. You can create a about view and you can call that view here. In order to create about view into the views folder, you have to create new file about.blade.php. Enter. This is about page. I am going to copy the home page content from here and paste here. Name here the about page. This is home, and here about page information. Okay. Now if I refresh the page, you see that this is our about page description. So in this way you can define the routes for your application. There is another way to directly view a route. I am going to alter this one with view. Okay. In the route view, you will see that there are two parameters. First parameter is the route URL that I gave here. Okay, this one. So this one paste, and what will return? The view will be my second parameter. So my view name is also about. I am giving the name here. Instead of giving the name about.blade, I can also rename it something different. Suppose about page.blade.php. okay. Then the view name is about page. So this is about page, and this one is the URL or route by which you will call your website page. Okay, this one is about. You can give any name here. Suppose my name here, but it will load the about page view. My name here. Okay, this will be loaded, and if you give about, it will be not found. I am going to back it again. I hope you understand it very easily now. There is another thing I want to discuss. I am going to back and in this format. Okay, if you want, you can use here another thing. Suppose about RFin. okay, now my route is not about. If you go to write about, it will show error. Suppose 404 not found. Refresh this page, you see 404 not found, because my route is now about/RFin. Copy that here, about/RFin, enter. Here I mistake, this is my about page. Okay, so refresh, you see that when I give this route, then this page comes. That means what you will put here, this is your route. Now what I can do is, you can easily pass parameters to route. Suppose when I will put here RFin, here my name will be shown. If we put another name here, then that name will be shown in this page. If I want this way, then you cannot statically write any name here. I am going to write here a username. Remember that if you start the curly braces and end the curly braces and write something here, then this will be your route parameter. And if you pass any parameter using route in this way, you have to pick up that parameter into your function. You can pick that into this function, and you can pass this parameter into your view page. Suppose this function just takes the parameter what you give here, it is taking here, but you must have to pass that value to the view page in order to show that in front of the user. Okay, so just copy this from here, and in order to pass any parameter into the view page, you have to use an array format. Okay, you can give it a name here. Suppose UN, this is username, and this will be an array, and this username will be passed. In this way you can pass multiple data using this process. Okay, UN is the value that I will have to use in the about page. Here I am going to write username is how. Now the question is how I will represent this UN, this variable value, how I can represent this into the blade.php file. You see that into our blade.php file I can directly write the HTML. I do not need to write PHP. I do not need to write the H1, UL, etc. here, because though it is PHP, if you see, you will get that into the blade.php file. Remember that into the blade.php file we do not need to write any PHP syntax like this. Okay, we do not need to write this syntax. Instead of it, what we will use is blade syntax. I will discuss about that in any later lecture next time, so that you can understand. But right now, just keep on your mind that in order to represent any PHP variable value into the view, you have to use double curly braces start and double curly braces ends. Now you write here directly the variable. That means this variable value will be printed here. Okay. Now I go to here, refresh it, you see that the username is Arifin. Now if I give here another name, suppose Patrick, enter, you see that in the view it is showing that the username is Patrick. That means we are successful to pass any value to our view. If you want, you can pass multiple values. Suppose I give here age, user age, okay. Then I have to take two second parameter here, and in the array you have to pass the parameter in this way. Pass this age and this is age. Then in the view page you can write this age of, suppose age of this user, that means un is age. Okay, this username age is this. Now go here, if you now refresh, you will see that 404, because in the URL I have to put another parameter age. Enter. You see that username is this and age of Patrick is this. Change username, change everything. You see that username is Arifin, age of Arifin is this. Okay, in this way you can work with parameters in the route.